Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Toonie Carter Field, home of the Man High Hillbillies, for the championship game of the first annual Guyandotte Wood and Bat Classic. The teams we'll be meeting today is the Sherman Tide, who defeated Tug Valley to get to this position by the final of 6-0. They'll be taking on the Man team. They're the home team on the scoreboard, who beat West Side 3-1 to get to this championship game.
Will be the pitcher, number 13, a sophomore, Braxton Messer.
So with that, we're going to step aside and we'll be right back as the players are getting introduced. All right, guys, while they introduce the lineups for both teams, we are going to step aside for the national anthem of this championship game. Actually, no championship game. So there is no national anthem. So we're going to get everything started right away for Man and Sherman. Rematch of the sectional championship a year ago, which was won by Man. So while they get ready, I'm going to step aside real quick. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here to start this game. Leading off for the Sherman Tide is number 2, Luke Delaney. On the mound is Braxton Messer, and that pitch is in there for called strike one. Messer with the 1-0-1 pitch, and that is hit foul out of play for strike two. Messer, 2 pitch, and it's outside. Ball one. 3 pitches already thrown by Messer. He's got a 1-2 count on Luke Delaney. Messer, 2 pitch, and it's in there. Strike 3. Good pitch by
Coming
Braxton
to the plate
Messer.
for Sherman, the pitcher, number 3, Logan Baldwin.
Now stepping up to the plate for the Sherman Tide is number 3, Logan Baldwin. He is the pitcher for the Sherman Tide. Messer gets his signs from Gerace, who's behind the plate, and that pitch is in there. Strike 1. 0-1 count for Baldwin, and we'll go over the lineups here soon for the Sherman Tide. And here comes the pitch, and that misses. Ball 2. So 1-1 count for Logan Baldwin. He is the pitcher. Batting next in the third spot is the shortstop, number 10, A.J. Skeens. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And it's in there. Strike 2. Count goes 1-2. Batting fourth for the Sherman Tide is number 5, Jared Butcher. He's the third baseman. Batting fifth is number 24, the catcher, Avery Skeens. Messer, 2 pitch. And that is swung on a miss. Strike 3. And that's out number 2. And now coming up to the plate is A.J. Skeens, the shortstop.
Coming to the plate for the Tide, the shortstop, number 10, A.J. Skeens.
Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that pitch is in there. Strike 1. And we'll finish up the lineup after this pitch from Messer. And that is in there for strike 2. So batting sixth for Sherman is number 1, the first baseman, Braden Hamrick. Batting seventh is Isaac Davis, number 20, the second baseman. Messer, pitch is in there. Strike 3. 11 pitches for Messer, and he strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3. And with that, we're going into the bottom half of the inning. Man leads it. We're scoreless between Man and Sherman. We're going to step aside and be right back as you're watching the championship game of the first annual Wood and Guyandotte Classic. All right, we're back. Leading off for the bottom of the first, number 13, Braxton Messer. Messer facing Logan Baldwin, the pitcher, as that pitch is hit and swung on high, and looks like it's going to get camped under by the center fielder. And that is out number 1. That is caught by Taliente. And now coming up is number 12, Braden Compton. As Braden Compton has gone with the luck of the Irish for his team. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and that pitch is fouled, tipped back towards the wall for strike 1. Lineup goes for man as follows. Leading off was Braxton Messer. Batting second is Braden Compton. Number 10, Jace Atkins bats third. Number 11, Bo Thompson bats fourth. Number 20, Caden Dickerson, first baseman, bats fifth. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Number 8, Hunter Gibson bats seventh. John McCoy bats sixth. And Hunter Gibson is DH, and forward Gavin Klein, the second baseman. Number 8, Cam Gerace, the catcher, is batting eighth. And number 2, Colton Miller, the left fielder, batting ninth. As that pitch was foul tipped back, and that pitch missed for ball 2. Count is even for Braden Compton. And that pitch is in there for strike 3.
Coming to the plate for man, the center fielder, number 10, Jace Atkins.
And now that'll bring up the center fielder, man's leading hit returner, number 10, Jace Atkins. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. That is in there for strike 1. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that pitch misses. Ball 1. These two teams met last year in the sectional championship, which was won by man. And that is a hit fouled down out of third base line for strike 2 for Jace Atkins. Count goes 1-2. And that pitch is inside, hits Jace Atkins.
Now batting for the Hillbillies, the shortstop, number
That'll
11,
move Jace Atkins over to first.
Thompson.
Now coming up to the plate for man is number 11, Bo Thompson. Baldwin looking back over at first. The speedy Atkins is on first. Baldwin throws back over. And Jace Atkins is in there safe. Again, 4 games. This is the 4th and final game of the Wood and Back Classic here at Man. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that is in there for strike 1. Baldwin, 2 pitch. And it's in there. Strike 2. Oh, 2 count for Bo Thompson. Baldwin pitch. And Thompson fouls it back over into the Little League field. Count remains 0-2. And that pitch is foul tipped back. Count remains 0-2. And again, I'm doing a lot of things here. I'm writing down keeping control of the scoreboard, writing down the stats, trying to do everything. Logan Baldwin has an 0-2 lead on Thompson. Here comes the pitch. And Thompson hits that one to center field. Can it be tracked down? It will not. It gets away from the center fielder, Delaney. And here comes Jace Atkins heading around third, heading home. Bo Thompson's in for an RBI double. And man takes a 1-0 lead. over Sherman.
Well, it's a big show. Coming to the plate for the Hillbillies, the first baseman, number 20.
So now they'll bring up number 20, Caden Dickerson. They're saying he is the big show of this team. And Dickerson hits it, fielded by the shortstop, throws over to first in time for out number 3. But man gets the damage as they score 1 run in that inning. They lead 1-0 over Sherman heading into the top of the second. We'll be right back as you're watching the Wooden Bat Classic here at Mann High School. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Leading off the top of the second is number 5, Jared Butcher. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that's hit right back up the middle off of Messer, and that is going to be a single for Sherman.
Coming to the plate for Sherman, the catcher, number 24, Avery Skeens.
So now coming up to the plate for Sherman is number 24, the catcher, Avery Skeens. Butcher is on with a single, hard-hitting single. Right, well, actually, it was a slow single, but it got away from Messer. Couldn't make the play. And Butcher's on. So Messer with the pitch outside, ball 1. And that pitch by Messer's missed, ball 2. Messer 2 pitch, and that pitch is high, ball 3. Hamrick has a 3-0 count. Excuse me, Skeens has a 3-0 count on Messer. And here comes the pitch. And that misses, ball 4. So Avery Skeens gets on with a walk. And we're going to get a courtesy runner in for the
Now
catcher.
back for Sherman, the first baseman, number 1, Braden Hamrick.
And the courtesy runner in for Sherman. Looks like will be number 4, Braden Mooney. And now stepping into the batter's box.
For the catcher is number 4, Braden Mooney.
Number 1 for the tie, Braden Hamrick. Messer looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And that is outside, ball 1. No outs Sherman has runners at second and first, trailing 1-0 with a 1-0 count to Braden Hamrick. Messer steps off the mound. He wants to think innings. He's going to bring Cam Gerace over to talk it over with him. So this will be a quick visit for Gerace and Messer, the two sophomore heavy players for the Man Hillbillies. This team is young with only, I think, 3 seniors in the lineup. 4, actually. I think 4 seniors. Colton Miller, Jace Atkins, John McCoy, and Caden Dickerson. Messer, 2-pitch. And that's in there for strike 1. Messer looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And that is hit. And that is going to drop in front of Colton Miller. Gets away from Miller. He's going to get the ball in as bases are loaded now for Sherman with no outs. And now that'll bring up number 25.
The second baseman,
Number 20, Isaac Davis.
Isaac Davis.
Runners in scoring position for Sherman. Isaac Davis coming in to try to bring in these runs. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that misses. Ball 1. A walk here can tie the game up for Sherman. Messer, 2-pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 1 from Davies. And again, it's a chilly night here at Man. It makes it even cold due to the river right next to us. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And it's foul tipped back for strike 2. A 1-2 count for Isaac Davis. Count is 1-2 for Davis. Messer looks back. Here comes the pitch. And that foul tip is, that ball's foul tipped back. Count remains 1-2 for Davis with no outs on the board. And Messer would love to have a strikeout. In the first inning, he sat down 3 straight batters on strikeouts. And he would love to do it again. Messer, 2-pitch. And that misses high. Ball 2, count is even for Davis. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that is foul tipped out of play. And Messer's pitch count starting to get up now at 25. And he only had 11 pitches through the first inning. Messer gets his signs from Gerace. He likes what he sees. Here comes the pitch. Swing on and a miss. Strike 3 for Davis. And that'll be out number 1.
Now batting for the Sherman Tide.
Now bring back up. They'll bring up for the
Bryce
Sherman Tide,
Mills.
number 18, Bryce Mills. I apologize about that. Messer wants what he likes from Gerace. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Gerace with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Messer looks over at third. Here comes the pitch. And it's in there. Strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Braxton Messer.
Now batting for the Tide, the left fielder, number 12, Jace Evans.
And now that'll bring up the 9-hitter, right left fielder, number 12, Jace Evans. Messer, after giving up three straight base runners, he's now battled back and has 2 outs as that pitch is outside. Wild ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Messer, and that is in there. Strike 1. Messer's looking to retire this side and head into the bottom of the second with a 1-0 lead. A base hit here can score 2 runs for the Tide. Messer, 2-pitch, and that ball's into the dirt. Did he go around? The umpire says no. And that will be ball 2. 2-1 count for Bryce Mills. Excuse me, for Jace Evans. Messer, 2-pitch. That is in there. Strike 2. One more strike, and Messer gets out of this jam as he had bases loaded. And see if he can pull out this strike and get out of this inning. Here comes the pitch from Messer, and that is just a bit outside. Ball 3. Full count now for Jace Evans. A walk here can tie the game up for Sherman. Messer. Here comes the pitch. And that is outside. Ball 4, and we are tied.
Back at the plate for the Tide, the
Now
center
that'll
fielder,
bring
number
up
2, Luke
number
Delaney.
2, Luke Delaney. Messer. 2-pitch. Swung on a miss by Delaney. Strike 1. Delaney's last at bat, he struck out on a 1-2 count. Messer looking back at second. Here comes the pitch. That's outside. It got the edge of the corner for strike 2. 0-2 count for Delaney. Here comes the pitch. And that is popped up, and it looks like Bo Thompson's going to be under it to make the catch. And he does for out number 3. And that will take us into the bottom of the second as Man still leads 1-0. Or no, Sherman tied it at 1. Forgot about the walk, and Sherman has tied it up going into the bottom of the second. So we'll step aside for this championship game, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Here leading off in the bottom of the second is number 43, Big John McCoy for the man, as that pitch goes outside for ball one. And that pitch is in there for strike one. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that misses. Ball two. Baldwin, two pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike two. Fast 2-2 count for John McCoy. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And McCoy foul tips it back to the Little League field behind us. Count remains 2-2. And McCoy hits that one high and is going to get caught by the second baseman for out number one.
Going to play for the
And
Hillbillies,
that
the
will bring up
designated hitter,
number 8.
number 8, Hunter Gibson.
Hunter Gibson. Excuse me, Hunter Gibson. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that is hit right past the third baseman. Scooped up by the shortstop, and it's going to be off target on the throw. And Hunter Gibson is in for a single.
Yeah, now batting for man.
And now batting for man is number 25, Cam Gerace. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And Gerace pops it up, out of play. For an 0-1 count now. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And Gerace foul tips it out of play. Into the bullpen for strike two. Here comes the pitch. And Gerace had to move out of the way. Usually when I'm in the batter's box, if a pitcher's going by me, I'm wanted to hit me. I don't know. I guess that means I'm crazy. And Gerace hits that one into the gap. That's going to bring Hunter Gibson around second. Going to third. Coach Jack Daniels is holding him up. That's the throw at the plate as Gibson doesn't go. And that is a double for Cam Gerace.
Coming to play for man, the left fielder, number 2, Colton Miller.
And now coming up to the plate for the Hillbillies is number 2, Colton Miller. He gets his instructions from Coach Daniels, and we're going to get a courtesy runner. Hayden Fraley is going to run for the catcher, Cam Gerace. And a good shot by Gerace.
Courtesy running to the catcher is number 4, Hayden Fraley.
Gets a man now within scoring position. 2 men is in scoring position with Colton Miller at the plate. Baldwin looks back at third. Here comes the pitch. And that pitch is missed wild, and Miller tried to lay down the bunt, and he'll go down for strike one. With only 1 out, runners in third and second for man. They have a golden opportunity to knock in these runs. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. They lay down a beautiful bunt. They're going to throw at the plate, and he is saved. The ball gets away. And Miller's heading to second. No one is there to cover it. And Miller is in there safe at second. So, man, add-ons to their lead. They lead 2-1 over the Sherman Tide. So, a bunt by Colton Miller.
Man, the pitcher, number 13, Braxton Messer.
Colton Miller laid down a beautiful bunt and good awareness by Hunter Gibson to run, and he beat out the throw. And Miller took advantage when no one was covering second and went in. As Messer throws down another bunt, and it's up, and they call Messer out, but that will score another run for Man, and they tack on to their lead. They lead 3-0. But that is out number 2, so a beautiful bump by Messer.
Now batting for Man, the right fielder, number 12, Braden Compton.
Will get the second out. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. As here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that misses low, ball 1. And Miller, they try to throw over to Miller. Miller is going to take advantage, and he is in there safe. So on a wild throw, Man scores. And they lead it 4-1. So on the wild pitch, Miller takes advantage and scores. Count remains 1-1 for Braden Compton. Here comes the pitch. And that pitch just misses outside. Count goes 2-1. And that pitch foul tips back. Count is even at 2-2. As it is a chilly night here in Man for the championship game of this Guyandotte Wooden Bat Classic. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 for Braden Compton. And that will end this inning, but not before Man puts up 3 more runs, and they extend their lead 4-1 over Sherman. So we're going to go into the top of the third. We'll step aside, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back here in the top of the third, leading off
Leading
this
off the top of the
inning
third for the
is
Sherman
number
Tide, the
3,
pitcher, number
Logan
3,
Baldwin.
Logan Baldwin.
Logan Baldwin is going to step in, and Messer is going to pitch to Baldwin. And that pitch is foul tipped back for an 0-1 count. Messer with the pitch. And that is low into the dirt. Ball 1. Again, it is chilly out here. I'm trying not to freeze. I have warm clothes on. They're just not keeping me warm. As here comes the pitch from Messer. And it's high. Ball 2. Baldwin has a 1-2-1 count on his plate. And that pitch is out of the way. Ball 3. Baldwin's last at bat was in the first inning, and he struck out. Here comes the pitch, and that is outside. Ball 4, and Logan Baldwin will take his base. As that will bring up
Now batting from the Sherman
number
Tide, the
10,
shortstop,
AJ Schemes.
AJ Schemes.
But before we do that, we're going to get a mound visit from Coach Jack Daniels. He's going to talk it over with Messer. While he does, I'm going to step aside and be right back. All right, we're back. Messer is back at first, thinks about it, and we're going to get a time called. Messer really thought about it. He didn't know what he wanted to do. Messer, 2-pitch, and that is missed for ball 1. I'm so cold I accidentally hit the button twice. And Messer throws back over to first as Baldwin gets in there safe. Messer looks back over at first, trying to keep Baldwin. And that is a hit. John McCoy throws over, and they got him at first, but not in time to move the runner over. So there was no double play. Sherman has a runner at second with 1 out.
Sherman, the third baseman. Number 5, Jared Butcher.
Now that'll bring up number 5, Jared Butcher, to the plate for the Sherman Tide. Messer looks back. He throws it up, and it's in there. Strike 1. Messer looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And that's way outside for ball 1. Messer with 48 pitches on the night. We're going to get a time called by the ump. Moving my seat back up close. Messer looks back at second. Here comes the pitch. And that is in there for strike two. Count is 1-2. And they throw back to second, and Baldwin is in there safe. Messer, 2-pitch. And swung on and a miss. Strike three. As that is out number two. And that will bring up
the Sherman Tide, the catcher, number
the
24, Avery
catcher,
Skeens.
number 24, Avery Skeens. Messer, 2-pitch. And it's foul tipped back. As when we continue this broadcast, we want to give a shout out to Chapmanville for winning their AA basketball state championship. Brad Napper's third state title in the past 6 years. So Chapmanville, congratulations to them. As Messer throws that one, it gets away. And Baldwin is taken off to third, and he is in there safe on a wild pitch. Counts even at 1. Let's see if Braxton Messer can get this third out. As Messer's pitch misses. Ball 2. Messer, 2-pitch. That is in there. Strike 2. Strike 3, actually. I must have miscounted. So strike 3 called. And that will end the top of the third. Sherman leaves a runner stranded. And we are going to head into the bottom of the third. Man still holds a 4-1 lead on Sherman in this Guyandotte Wood and Bat Classic. So we'll step aside and be right back as you're watching the Guyandotte Classic Championship game live on Miller Sports Broadcasting YouTube channel. All right, we're back here in the bottom of the third. Jace Atkins up to bat as that pitch misses for ball one. Jace Atkins is 0 for. He hasn't got a hit, but he got a base. He got a ball on base, and that is a base hit for Jace Atkins, and it gets past the shortstop.
Now batting for man, the shortstop, number 11,
And that'll bring up the shortstop, number 11, Bo Thompson. So here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that hit Bo Thompson. Now he'll take his base.
Well, it's the big show. Coming to play for the Hillbillies, the first baseman, number 20, Hayden Dickerson.
Now that'll bring up Caden Dickerson. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin as Dickerson went around for strike one. Baldwin to pitch. And Dickerson pops it up. And the third baseman is camping under it as Butcher. And he makes the catch for out number one. But it was an infield fly rule anyway. Dickerson couldn't move.
The third baseman, number 43, John McCoy.
So now that'll bring up number 43, Big John McCoy for the Hillbillies. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And that is in there for strike one. Baldwin, pitch low, ball one. And here comes the pitch. No, they're going to throw back over to second as Jace Atkins is in there safe. He's in there safe, and Sherman keeping Jace Atkins on his heels. They don't want him to steal base. He's the speedy runner for this Hillbillies team. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and that's in there. Strike two. Baldwin looks back at second. He's going to throw back over there, and Atkins is safe in at second. Man with a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the third over Sherman. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and that pitch is foul tipped back by McCoy. Count remains 1-2. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and it's low into the dirt. Pass ball. He gets away from everybody. And runners advance over from second to third, and first to second. Thompson and Atkins are sitting in scoring position. Baldwin, 2-pitch. And McCoy foul tips it back. Count remains 2-2, even for Big John McCoy. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. And McCoy foul tips it back. Oh, almost. Atkins pulled a twisty turn, almost got a little bit taller. He would have probably got nailed on that one, but nonetheless, everybody's safe. And the pitch from Sherman's Baldwin strikes out McCoy. And that will bring up number 8, Hunter Gibson.
Number 8, Hunter Gibson.
Hunter Gibson stepping in. He wants the glass shatter, or in this case, wood bat ball shatter. and trying to bring in Atkins and Thompson as that pitch was missed for ball one to Hunter Gibson. As we get a time called by the catcher, he's going to go out to talk to Baldwin. It's Hunter Gibson, so far at the plate, is 1-for-1 on a single in the last part of the inning. And he wants to keep this inning going as he has a chance to bring in a run for a man with 2 outs. Baldwin looks back at third. Here comes the pitch. And that misses outside, ball 2. Baldwin looks back over. Here comes the pitch. And swung on a miss. Strike 1. You love to hear the man bench as Baldwin swung and missed. Count goes even at 2. Here comes the pitch, and swung and a miss, strike 3, and that will end the threat for Man. Man strands 2 runs in that inning. That's 2 runs on bases in that inning. They still hold a 4-1 lead over Sherman. As Mike Crosby, it is quiet out there. And now the music is playing. I'm going to step aside, and we'll be right back as you're watching Miller Sports Broadcasting coverage of the first annual Guyandotte Classic Championship game. We'll be right back.
If that chick don't want to know, forget her.
Damn it, you just kicked me off. Am I still live?
At the plate for the Sherman Tide, the first baseman, number 1, Braden.
What's his last name? What's his name?
Hamrick.
He's just Braden today. You can't read his handwriting at all. It's actually quite dookie.
Oh man, Booth.
What Booth do?
Oh, my friend Dakota.
What do you do?
He turned my mic off. Well, he called me Facebook Messenger, and when you do that on here, you completely cut off my headset. Love the dude.
How long have you been talking with that going off? With that being off?
Since he called,
When was that?
about a few minutes ago.
Now at the plate for the Tide, the second baseman, number 20, Isaac Davis.
Okay, let's give this a try. As we plugged in the headphones and we're ready to go, there's one out on the board. We had a little bit of miscue. So Messer, 2-pitch. Nope, he's thinking about it. Now he's going to pitch. Oh, and a hit. Isaac Davis. And he will take his base at first. So real quick, we're going to mute real quick and then we'll see if we're back. All right, and I'm back as that pitch goes in there for strike one. Bryce Mills takes the 1-0 pitch. Messer. Looking back, here comes the pitch. And that is in there, strike two. So we had to go to the backup mic after my mic got cut off. And the only way you can cut it back on is when you exit the feed, and we're not exiting the feed. So you probably heard a lot go behind the scenes. Just ignore that, and we'll get back to baseball. Messer. Looking to pitch. He does. And that is swung on a miss. Strike three. And Mills will go down swinging for out number two.
Now batting for Sherman, the left fielder, number 12, Jace Evans.
Now up to bat for the Sherman Tide is Jace Evans, as that pitch is missed for ball, and we might lose the game. Here comes the pitch, and that is in there for a strike one. Count is 0-2. For Evans. And that pitch is in there. Strike three. So Sherman leaves a runner stranded, as that is strike number three, and we are going into the bottom of the fourth. And we'll be right back after this break as you're watching Man High Hillbillies Guyandotte Classic live on Facebook. On YouTube. right, we're back. Leading off this inning for man is number 25, Cam Gerace. As Baldwin's pitch misses for ball one. And again, I'm on few percent battery, so if the feed dies, I will not be able to come back live. We're going to try to get this thing to go out through the inning. As here comes the pitch. As that pitch is sent foul out of play from Gerace. And Baldwin's pitch is low into the dirt. Ball 3-1 count for Gerace. And here comes the pitch. Gerace pops it up. And it drops in play. And Gerace gets on with a bloop single that was so popped up, Logan Baldwin couldn't find it. And Gerace gets on with a bloop single base hit. And there's a sharp hit to the second baseman, throws over to the shortstop, and Miller's speed beats out the throw, but that'll be out number one. As that will bring up now number 13, Braxton Messer.
Now play for the Hillbillies, the pitcher, number 13, Braxton Messer.
Baldwin throws over, and the ball gets away. Miller, slow reaction to get up. So he remains at first. Messer on the day is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. Baldwin to pitch. And it's in there for strike as Miller is in there safe. At second, he successfully steals second. Baldwin to pitch. And foul tip back for Messer. That makes it 0-2. Baldwin to pitch. And that's low into the dirt. Ball one. Here comes the pitch. And Messer hits that one to deep. Miller's tagging. And he is in at third safe. So with 2 outs, Messer flew out to right field. And Miller moves over to third.
Now batting for man, the right fielder.
And that'll bring up number 12, Braden Compton. And we're going to have a talk to coaches. Miller was over at home. I was keeping the stats. Miller took off from second. We're trying to sort everything out. We're trying to see what the call is they're getting together. Umps are getting together. And Coach Crosby is going to talk it over with the home plate umpire. Looks like Colton Miller will stay at third. So while they talk it over, I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back from the break. They're still talking it over. Coach Daniel was wanting the explanation from the ump that the ruling is what should have happened is Sherman thought Colton Miller tagged up early, so they were throwing the ball to second, and they were just standing there. Colton Miller took advantage while it technically was a live ball, went home, but the official said no, that the ball was dead. So Miller is back at third, and Braden Compton is up to bat with 2 outs for man. Here comes the pitch, and that misses inside for ball 1. And that pitch misses outside, ball 2. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and Compton hits that one foul. Count go 2-1. And that pitch is missed for ball 3. 3-1 count for Braden Compton. Here comes the pitch. And that's in there, strike 2. Full count now for Compton. Compton and hits it up, and that is out number 3 as they've popped up fly to the first baseman, and that will end the bottom of the 4th. We're going into the top of the 5th. Man still leads 4-1 over Sherman. We're going to step aside and be right back as you're watching the championship game of the Guyandotte Classic live on YouTube. All right, we're back here in the top of the fifth. Man leads 4-1 over Sherman. And batting now for Sherman is number 2, Luke Delaney, the most unique name of this tournament. He wins that award. So here comes the pitch from Messer. They lay down a bunt. It goes foul out of the third base line for strike one. Messer looking at his signs from Gerace, and they pitch that's laid down foul bunt again by Delaney. Goes 0-2 count now. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed by Delaney for strike 3. As I forgot to do the pitch count. And that's out number 1. And now coming up to the plate for Sherman is number 3, Logan Baldwin. Here comes the pitch from Gerace. And that misses outside, ball 1. One 0 count for Baldwin. Messer to pitch. And that is high, ball 2. Messer to pitch. And that is high upstairs, ball 3. Three 0 count for Baldwin. Messer to pitch. That's in there. Strike 1. And we get a stoppage in play. The headlights are on, and they by rule have to be turned off because you can't see anything. And now they turn it off, so we're back to playing. You probably couldn't tell there were headlights on. You had to turn them off. So a 3-1 count for Baldwin. Here comes Messer to pitch, and that is foul. No, it's grounded. It hits the first baseman, first base, and big Caden Dickerson comes up with the scoop and tag for out number 2. As now coming up to bat is number 10, AJ Skeens.
Now to play for Sherman, the shortstop, number 10, AJ Skeens.
Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that is in there. Strike 1. Messer to pitch. That is outside. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And inside. Almost hit Skeens for ball 2. Messer to pitch. And that's popped up, foul out of play. Count goes even at 2. So one more strike and we get out of this top half of the inning, go into the bottom. Here comes the pitch from Messer, and that misses. Ball 3. So the count is 3-2. Full count. For Skeens. Messer with 81 pitches. Here comes the pitch. And that is foul balled. Count remains full. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that is popped up. And it looks like it's going to get caught by Big John McCoy. And he makes the grab for out number 3. We're going into the bottom of the 5th. Maine still leads 4-1. We're going to step aside. We're going to step aside and be right back at the championship game of the first annual Guyandotte Wooden Bat Classic here at Maine. We'll be right back. And we're back. Leading off this inning for Maine is number 10, Jace Atkins. Jace Atkins is going to step in as he is 2 for 2 today, as that first pitch is missed for ball 1. Jace Atkins is in for he's actually 1 for 1 with a single, as that pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and that misses outside, ball 2. And here comes the pitch, and it is inside. Called strike 2. Count is even. And Atkins hits it right to the third baseman. Butcher throws over to first, and he is out. Good catch by the first baseman for Sherman, Braden Hamrick.
Now batting for man, the shortstop, number 11, Bo Thompson.
comes the pitch for Bo Thompson, and it misses. Ball 1. Thompson to pitch. Baldwin to pitch, and that is going to go foul, and it's going to get caught by. No, it's not. It is dropped, and that is a bloop single. I mean, would you consider? I don't know if I really consider that as an error, but that's why I'm not the ump. And now coming in for the Hillbillies is Caden Dickerson. That will go. I'm going to count it as a single. I mean, it was so high. It was hard to crowd. You know what? I'll rule it as an error. They throw over as Thompson. The ball gets away. Thompson's going to take off to second, and he is going to advance. No, Thompson's going to third. They're throwing it over. Can he beat out the throw? He is. He's in there safe. Bo Thompson, off a wild pitch, takes advantage of the ball getting away, and he is in at third. So now Mann has a runner in scoring position, 90 feet away from the plate. Base hit for Caden Dickerson. He hits it to center, and that is going to get caught. No, it's dropped by the center fielder, Delaney, and Bo Thompson scores from third. Mann leads it 5-1.
Now batting for Mann, the third baseman, number 43, Sean McCoy.
That is an error because the center fielder had a really good beat on it, and he just dropped it out of his glove. Now Big John McCoy is coming to bat, and McCoy smacks that one. Where's that one going? Foul. So Big John McCoy is in, and we're going to get a courtesy runner for Mann for number 20 for Caden Dickerson, the first baseman. Number 24, Luke Haney, is coming in to run for Caden Dickerson. John McCoy with one out. Can he extend this Mann lead? A hit by Caden Dickerson, dropped by the center fielder. Scored Thompson from third. Here comes the pitch, and in there, strike 2. Here comes the pitch, and that is low into the dirt. Ball 1 for John McCoy. Baldwin to pitch. And that hits John McCoy as he now will take his base to first, and Luke Haney will move over to second and now bring up the DH for Mann, number 8, Hunter Gibson.
Stone Cold Hunter Gibson.
Here comes the pitch from Baldwin as swung and a miss by Hunter Gibson. Baldwin to pitch, and that is a rip single by Hunter Gibson. Oh, and they're going to. Luke Haney was going to go to third. He wasn't stopping. The locomotive was on his way home to the station, and he held up, retraced his steps, went back into third. So now that's a bases loaded for Mann. So with one out, Cam Drace is now up to bat. And that pitch misses, ball 1. we get a time called. Here comes the pitch. And that is hit into center field. Tagged up. Here comes Haney. He's coming home to the plate. And the runner is safe. Luke Haney comes home off of a tag.
Now batting for man, the left fielder, number 2, Colton Miller.
Here comes the pitch. And that is in there for strike one. So 2 outs remaining in the bottom of the 5th. Here comes the pitch, and that pitch is swung on, and then touching the base is Skeens, and that is in time for out number 3. And we will head into the top of the 6th with Man extending their lead 6-1 over Sherman. We will be right back as you're watching the championship game of the Guyandotte Classic.
For the Sherman
Leading off for the Tide in the top of the 6th is number 5, Jared Butcher. And we got the lights as I think that person just needs to go. Oh, he turned it back. Somehow, I think they're doing that on purpose. I think they are. That car. Okay, there goes the lights again. Now see if he turns it back on. Here comes the pitch. And Butcher hits that one out of play. Almost hit someone. Almost hit Luke Haney. As that pitch will go foul out of play. For strike one. Messer. 2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. It is very quiet. You can hear anything. Here comes the pitch. And that is low and away. Ball 1. Messer, 2 pitch. Swung and a miss. Strike 3. And now coming up to the bat for the Tide is Avery Skeens, the catcher. And that pitch misses. Let's see. No, it's in there for strike 1. Gotta love baseball. Messer with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Here comes the pitch from Messer. That is in there. Strike 3. And now that'll bring up for the Tide, number 1, Braden Hamrick.
Now to play for Sherman, the first baseman, number 1, Braden Hamrick.
So Hamrick's come and step in to the batter's box, facing Messer, who has struck out his last 2 batters. Here comes the pitch. And that is low into the dirt, ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Messer. That is low, ball 2. Braxton Messer, is what I've counted, has 11 strikeouts on the game. And that pitch misses. 3-0. Messer, 2 pitch. And that is in there. Strike 1. And he's at 94. Again, I keep forgetting to press the pitch button. As here comes the pitch from Messer. As outside, ball 3. So Messer walks. And walks Hamrick, and that will bring up number 20, Isaac Davis.
Coming to play for Sherman, the second baseman, number 20, Isaac Davis.
Here comes the pitch from Messer. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Man is 1 out away from ending the top half, ending the inning. No, excuse me, the top half of the inning. And that pitch missed for ball 1. Wait, did he? I can't see if he saw. I've been here all day. I'm tired. I'm just ready to honestly. I love bringing you the action, but I'm ready to get into something called warm. As that pitch missed for ball one. Here comes the pitch from Messer. Swing and a miss into the dirt. Strike two. Count goes 1-2 for Isaac Davis. Here comes the pitch from Messer. And that's hit right back at Messer. He snags it and throws it over to Dickerson for out number 3. So on the 1-3 throw out, that will end the top half of the 6th. We're going into the bottom with Man leading 6-1 over Sherman. We're going to step aside, be right back, as we're going to start with the bottom half of the inning. This is the Guyandotte Wood and Back Classic Championship game. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off this inning is Braxton Messer, who takes his first swing for ball. For strike. And Messer foul tips that back towards the playground for strike 2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Feels like negative 20 degrees out, and I am freezing. As it hits it right back up to the pitcher, and they got him out at first. So on the 1-3 throw out from the pitcher, Messer is retired, and he will now bring up. It will bring up number 12, Braden Compton. As I was too worried, I forgot to change the pitch count. It's at 88 or 90, excuse me now, as that pitch misses. Here comes the pitch inside. Ball 2. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and Compton had to move out of the way. Count goes 3-1. Logan Baldwin to pitch. And that is a hit by Compton. Scooped up by Butcher. Throws over to first. And it gets away. So on the throw that didn't get there accurate. And that'll bring he's safe. That'll bring up now number 10, Jace Atkins. Again, I am not at my 100% right now. I am freezing. I can't really concentrate. I've been here calling 3 games all day. Now this is my 4th and final. Only thing I ask, do not go to extra innings. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and that is pitched inside for ball 1. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin, and that misses outside. Ball 2. Here comes the pitch from Baldwin. High up. No, they called it strike. Strike 1. As we got updates from the Fairmont Senior and Shady Spring game, another classic coming down to the wire. Fairmont leading Shady. Can the Polar Bears pull out a stunning upset and winning the Class AAA title for the 2nd year in a row? As that pitch to Atkins is inside for ball 3. 3-1 count. And Atkins smacks that one, and that could be gone. It is! Out of here! Home run for Jace Atkins. That ball was gone as soon as it left the bat. A 2-run home run shot for the senior, Jace Atkins, as he gets mauled at home plate by his team. What a shot for Jace Atkins. Now that'll bring up number 11, Bo Thompson. So Man scores 3 more runs. We get out of here with a win. They get out of here with a win and a Guyandotte Classic Championship. The first annual Guyandotte Classic Championship. And Baldwin left that thing up there and it was gone. And it hit over the monster wall, which is only as depth as 280, but that extra height makes it just a little bit more impossible to get out of here. As here comes the pitch from Baldwin. That is in there, strike 1. And for the 2nd consecutive year, Fairmont Senior wins it over Shady 47-42 in the Class AAA State Championship. Here comes the pitch as Thompson fouls it out of play. Count goes 0-2. Thompson with an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And he fouls it out towards Crosby again. That old saying, if you don't know Bo, well, then I guess you just don't know Bo. I don't know what else after that one. Here comes the pitch to Bo Thompson. And he smacks it one right over the press box head. Still, the count still remains 0-2. And Baldwin is at 105 pitches. 5 more and he's done. And that pitch is in there. Strike 3. That's out number 2. So this could be his last batter with pitch 106. Caden Dickerson is going to come in.
First baseman, number 20, Caden the Big Show Dickerson.
So Caden Dickerson is going to come in. Here comes the pitch. And Dickerson fouls it out of play. Strike one. Pitch count 107, so he's allowed to finish this batter. And if somehow Dickerson was to fly out going into the bottom of the seventh, he would start another batter. Here comes the pitch, and that is inside. Ball one. So, pitch 108, and this more likely will be his last batter. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and Dickerson hits it foul out of play. Counts 1-2, 109 for Campbell. Here comes the pitch. Dickerson fouls out again. Pitch 1-10. So Dickerson is now at 110 pitches. He's at his limit. This is his last batter. Here comes the pitch. Dickerson smacks that one to center field. Delaney's coming underneath, and it's going to drop in front of Delaney. And Dickerson is safe with a single. And that will be it. As Logan Baldwin has now went the distance, and he's done his day. He's done his day on the mound. So now, while we get another pitching change, we're going to step aside and be right back as you're watching the Guyandotte Classic Championship game here at Man, West Virginia. We'll be right back. And we're back. Now at the bat for the for the Hillbillies is number 43, Big John McCoy. As we got Braden Hamrick on the mound, as that pitch is foul tip back for strike one. Hamrick's coming in to relieve for Logan Baldwin, who went the distance with 111 pitches total in this game. Here comes the pitch from Hamrick. And that's in there. Strike two. It is cold out here. Even the ump agrees. 0-2 count for John McCoy. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. And that will end the bottom of the sixth as we're going into the top of the seventh. Sherman's got to plate 9 runs to keep the game going. We've got to play 7 runs to keep the game going. Played 8 to take the lead. So we'll be right back as we're going into the final inning. Man leads at 8-1 in the championship game of the Guyandotte Classic. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here in the top of the seventh. Leading off this inning for Sherman is number 18. Well, that pitch is in there for a strike. I can't see who the actual number is. As Messer to pitch. And it's in there. Strike two. And it looks like it's Ashton Mooney who's in the bat. And that is in there. Strike three. Ashton Mooney. And that pitch is in there. Strike one. Messer is on his game right now. Number 11, Cash Plants. And that misses for Messer. Ball one. 1-1 count. And that pitch is in there. Strike 2. One-two count for Messer. Here comes the pitch. And that is in there. Strike 3. I forgot to put the outs. So 2 outs. And now bang again for the Sherman Tide as number 2, Luke Delaney. Messer with pitch 106. And they pop it up, and it's going to get out of play for strike 1. Braxton Messer has, by my book, a count total of 13 strikeouts. Here comes the pitch. In there. Strike 2. One more strike. And man wins the Guyandotte Classic Wooden Bat Championship. Messer with pitch 109 coming. Outside. Ball 1. Excuse me. Here comes the pitch from Messer. Outside. Count even at 2, and Messer is at his limit with 110 pitches. So this is his last batter. Here comes the pitch from Messer, and that is low into the dirt. Ball 3. Messer wants to complete the strikeout. He wants to get his 14th of the game and end it on a strikeout. Full count for Messer. And that is in there. Strike 3. Braxton Messer with 14 total strikeouts. And man wins it by a final of 8-1 as they are your first annual Guyandotte Wood Bat Classic champions. Sherman will take second place as these two teams will meet down the road in sectional tournaments and in in-season play. Man wants that 1 seed. In Sherman, they want to try to avenge this loss now to try to beat Man. So with that, thank you guys for watching the Wooden Bat Classic, the Guyandotte Wooden Bat Classic here at Man. Man wins it by a final of 8-1 over Sherman. Your player of the game for Man has to be, no doubt about it, without a shadow of a doubt, Braxton Messer with a total of 14 strikeouts for today's contest. So guys, thank you for joining us for all 4 games that I have covered. Thank you, Man, for allowing me to cover this entire tournament. Guys, we want to say thank you for watching. I am Daniel Miller. I am signing out from William Tootie Carter Field.